To start the journey, let's follow burglary suspect who died after attacking police.
Come here. Look, it's just the beer, bro.
On November 24, 2023, El Centro Police responded to a 911 call regarding a burglary at a business on South Imperial Avenue. Suspect Alessandro Vargas, 31 years old, was found holding a brick. When officers asked Vargas to drop the brick, he threw the brick at the officers.
Drop the brick.
2 shots were heard as Vargas backed away, and he was taken to ECRMC Hospital. Vargas died around 8:00 a.m. that same day. Teenager dies after robbing military truck and clashing with police. On November 9, 2023, at approximately 7:30 a.m., a 16-year-old teenager in Sandy, Utah, stole a United States Army truck from an Army recruiting building. Officers attempted to stop the vehicle, but the suspect fled and police did not continue the pursuit. Hours later, a 911 caller reported the teenager driving an Army truck through the neighborhood and asking for gas. As officers attempted to stop, the suspect continued to drive through Sandy, avoiding tire spikes that officers deployed.
236, shots fired. Shots fired.
On Monroe Street, when the police approached, the teenager backed up, turned around and drove into the opposite lane, causing a serious collision with a motorcyclist. Police then followed the suspect into a dead end, and when the teenager drove toward a police officer, the police opened fire to stop the vehicle. The teenager was injured and stopped after crashing into a police car. Police pulled the teenager from the car and he was taken to the hospital, where he died from his injuries.
You run up on me like that. I'm in distress.
Okay, what's going on?
You need another help for that. Don't do that.
Misha Scott was arrested after crashing into a victim and causing a dangerous pursuit. On October 1, 2023, in San Pedro, Los Angeles, Harbor Police Department officers received a call about a child custody dispute in the parking lot of a store at the intersection of Gaffey Street and Capitol. After intervening and facilitating the transfer of custody between the parties involved, suspect Misha Scott, 39, got into her white Chevrolet U-Haul pickup truck and drove out of the parking lot. However, Scott suddenly accelerated and crashed into the victim, nearly missing an officer. She continued driving south and a police shooting occurred as she approached another officer. After issuing the rescue call, Scott fled the scene and officers began a pursuit. The pursuit ended at Pacific Street and Paseo del Mar when Scott's vehicle crashed into a tree. She was arrested without further incident. Los Angeles Fire Department personnel treated the victim for injuries sustained from being hit by Scott's vehicle, and also took Scott to the hospital for treatment of injuries from the collision.
Shots fired. The target. Partner, where are you?
Scott was arrested on charges including attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. No police or other community members were injured. Scott's vehicle was confiscated as evidence and investigators are continuing to investigate the incident.
On your stomach. Hold on.
Naugatuck police charged after confrontation with theft suspect. On October 14, 2023, in Naugatuck, Connecticut, Gerald Day, 33, from Waterbury, attempted to steal over $200 in beer from Stop and Shop. When discovered, the incident escalated to robbery when Day got into a scuffle with store employees. When police approached, Day recklessly ran away, crashing into a patrol car.
Crash. Fail.
Detective Williams ordered Day and another person out of the car, but Day sped away and crashed into a utility pole. Officer Quijas gave chase, and after Day refused to comply, Quijas used a stun gun to subdue Day, causing Day to fall to the ground. The incident was later investigated when Quijas's superiors reviewed the video from the camera. Quijas was charged with cruelty and third-degree assault on October 30, 2023, with bail set at $50,000. Jarrell Day also faces multiple charges, including assault on a police officer, third-degree robbery and illegal possession of a weapon in a vehicle. He is being held on $200,000 bail.
Doesn't matter, throw him in a car for now. Hey, close the on-ramp down. We're closing everything down.
I know you did.
Terrifying chase in Ocala, Michael Prouty caused chaos before his arrest. In the early morning of October 24, 2023, Michael Prouty, 39, caused a series of serious incidents in Ocala, Florida. After breaking into a woman's home and stealing her purse, phone, and car, Prouty became the focus of a tense pursuit.
10-4 to white male bailing. White male, brown shirt. He's in the Jimmy John's parking lot. He's now at Starbucks.
When he was discovered driving a stolen car, he sped away at high speed. After colliding with multiple vehicles at an intersection, Prouty fled, creating a chaotic scene. The situation escalated when Prouty tried to carjack a woman at Starbucks, but was interrupted by people and detained until police arrived. Previously, Prouty had convictions for theft and robbery, and even though he was released in 2022, he continued to reoffend. Terrifying pursuit along I-95, Nicholas Parchesco arrested after speed race. On October 4, 2023, a dramatic pursuit took place on I-95 when 28-year-old Nicholas David Parchesco became the focus of the manhunt. After causing a serious stabbing, Parchesco drove away at a high rate of speed, putting the Indian River County Sheriff's Office and Jupiter Police Department on alert. Thanks to the LPR camera system and the support of the Hawk helicopter, police chiefs quickly determined the vehicle's location and direction of movement. While Parchesco tried to hide using many dangerous tricks, the authorities relentlessly followed and eventually slowed down and successfully arrested him. Parchesco is currently being held in the Indian River County Jail on $100,000 bail and faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. Fortunately, no one was injured during the pursuit and capture. However, officials have not yet released information about the stabbing victim, including the victim's identity and condition. Terrifying chase in San Antonio, suspect Michael Kirkland killed after bloody gunfight. On August 30, 2023, a dramatic pursuit took place in San Antonio when Street Crimes Unit officers spotted 40-year-old Michael Kirkland driving. Kirkland has a warrant for aggravated assault on a public servant. The pursuit became even more dangerous when Kirkland crashed into a civilian vehicle but still fled on foot. While fleeing, he fired several shots at the officers, wounding one policeman in the arm. Although the police returned fire, Kirkland continued to run toward the shoulder of the highway, trying to shoot at other cars to steal the vehicles. Bloody conflict in Los Angeles, officer shoots suspect holding simulated gun. In the early morning of August 18, 2023, Los Angeles witnessed a tense confrontation as Southeast Police Department officers responded to an emergency call of an assault with a deadly weapon involving possibly going on in the back alley of the 2100 block of East 103 Road Street. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Luis Saucedo, 25, standing in the alley. As the officers exited the vehicle, Saucedo suddenly sat down and pulled a pistol from his back waistband. Despite being told to put down the gun, Saucedo did not obey the order and stood up, raised the pistol, and immediately a shootout occurred between the officers and Saucedo. After being hit, Saucedo tried to run away but was quickly captured. The Los Angeles Fire Department took him to their hospital, where Saucedo was treated and released in stable condition. Tense chase in Los Angeles, gun suspect simulates surrender after multiple shootings. It's worth noting that the gun Saucedo holds is not a real weapon but a simulation pistol. The officer fired because he perceived a threat from a weapon that appeared dangerous. Saucedo was arrested and faces charges of resisting an officer under California Penal Code 69 PC with bail set at $80,000. No one else was injured in the incident, and the replica gun was recovered as evidence. On the evening of August 12, 2023, Los Angeles witnessed a dramatic chase as Olympic regional officers responded to an emergency call about a man with a gun in a convenience store on West 6th Street. When officers arrived, suspect Taylor Dean Sanders, 35, had left the scene.
Drop it, bro! Drop it! Drop it, bro! I got it, I'll put it up.
About an hour later, officers spotted Sanders on the sidewalk south of Wilshire Boulevard, holding a black assault rifle. When officers asked Sanders to put down his gun, he responded by raising his rifle at them, leading to the first shooting. Sanders fled south on Vermont Avenue, and officers continued the pursuit. While Sanders walked through the area, officers deployed bin-bag shotguns and 40mm less lethal grenade launchers to subdue him. However, Sanders continued to raise his rifle at the police officers, leading to a second shooting. The chase continued as Sanders ran into the shopping center and parking lot. Here, police officers once again used 40mm less lethal grenade launchers. Sanders continued holding the rifle and faced the officers, leading to a third shooting. Sanders eventually barricaded himself in an outdoor stairwell of the parking lot. After a lengthy standoff, Metropolitan Police Department SWAT officers arrived and Sanders surrendered without further incident. He was taken to California Hospital Medical Center and was listed in stable condition. After the incident, two replica guns, a black airsoft gun that resembled a rifle and a black and orange butane lighter that looked like a small pistol, were recovered as evidence. Sanders was arrested for waving a fake gun at police. No one else was injured in the Incident and Force Investigation Department, FID. Investigators have commenced an investigation.
40, I got 40 ready.
Hold on, he's turning around. He's turning around. He's going to be facing your right. Officer coming up that ramp.
Terrifying chase in Los Angeles. Reckless driver crashed into police before being arrested. On the afternoon of August 9, 2023, Los Angeles witnessed a dangerous chase when Manuel Ramirez, 28, drove a white Department of Water and Power (DWP) sport utility vehicle on a closed road after causing a hit-and-run traffic collision. The pursuit began when foothill officers received multiple emergency calls about an assault with a deadly weapon involving a vehicle. Officers quickly spotted the vehicle and the chase officially began when Ramirez drove onto the 5 freeway, colliding with 2 unrelated vehicles but continuing on.
Hey, get on the fucking ground!
Ramirez did not stop and continued crashing into the parking lot of an apartment building, climbing through a narrow walkway and breaking through a protective metal gate. He then made a U-turn and plowed into the officers and an unrelated truck, leading to 2 officer-involved shootings, OIS.
You guys good? Everyone good?
The incident escalated as Ramirez continued to drive toward the officers, resulting in a second OIS incident. Finally, Ramirez stopped the car at Edenhurst Road and refused to surrender. Officers tried unsuccessfully to persuade him to surrender, forcing SWAT officers to intervene. Ramirez was shot and taken to a local hospital for treatment of his injuries. The subsequent investigation revealed that the DWP vehicle, which was stolen and unreported, was at the center of the incident. Ramirez was arrested on a charge of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer, with bail set at $152,000. During this incident, 3 police officers were injured, 2 were treated at the scene and 1 was taken to a local hospital.
One shooter, one less.
The incident ended without further incident and is a prime example of the stress and danger of the work of the Los Angeles police force. Seattle police, with air support from the King County Sheriff's Office, pursued and arrested a suspect in connection with the drive-by shooting. At approximately 2:00 p.m. near South 4th Street and South Lucille Street, police discovered a stolen vehicle suspected of being involved in the shooting and theft. When asked to stop, the driver fled at high speed. Police conducted a pit operation in the 900 block of Airport Way South, arresting the driver, a 32-year-old male.
Show me
The female passenger was identified and released. No one was injured, and multiple guns were recovered from the vehicle. The suspect was detained at the King County Jail for investigation.
On September 14, 2022, shortly after 1 a.m., Sheriff Shane Iverson stopped Timothy Michael Randall, 29, for a traffic violation at Highway 64 and CR 4125.
517 county traffic.
When asked to exit the vehicle, Randall complied but then struggled with the deputy while handcuffed. The struggle ended when Sheriff Iverson fired one shot at Randall, killing him from a gunshot wound through the chest. Randall ran about 20 steps before collapsing. A subsequent search revealed that Randall had hidden a pipe in an eyeglass case, which police initially suspected was a gun. In October 2023, Randall's mother filed a federal lawsuit alleging wrongful death and civil rights violations. Caballero is in the hospital and surrendered after hours of confrontation with the SWAT team. Fire at 1:10 a.m. On June 11, 2024, in the 1000 block of West 6th Street, Corona, California, sheriff's deputies observed two suspects, Eric John Noorani and Jennifer Rose Dobbins, behaving erratically. When the deputy stopped to investigate, the two suspects fled and Noorani attacked the deputy, wrestling for control of the gun. Dobbins also joined the attack. The deputy shot Dobbins, who was later taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. On June 27, 2024, detectives sought Jarrell Fulwell in the area of the 300 block of North Joe Wilson Street. Fulwell drove away and then shot at police as he exited the car at Wheatland Road. Police responded and returned fire, hitting Fulwell. He is in critical condition at the hospital. No officers were injured, and the two officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. Fulwell faces felony evading charges and has a lengthy criminal record. Los Angeles, California, on June 11, 2024. At approximately 8:50 p.m., officers with the Foothill Area Gang Enforcement Team located a dark-colored vehicle traveling at a high speed. Elevation in the Lehigh Avenue and Carl Street area. When the officers followed and intended to stop the car, the driver suddenly pulled over. The front passenger, Alexander Aguilar Larios, 21, got out with a handgun and began running through a housing complex. During the foot pursuit, Aguilar Larios fell to the ground, but then got up and continued running, leading to officers opening fire. Aguilar Larios was hit by gunfire and taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. At the scene, a 9mm pistol was recovered. The driver of the vehicle fled and has not yet been identified. No other officers or community members were injured in the incident. On May 4, 2019, San Jose police shot Efren Esquivel, 24, after he stole a sheriff's deputy's car and drove at high speed at a police sergeant, James Mason. Esquivel, who was drunk and had near toxic levels of methamphetamine in his system, refused to surrender and tried to crash into officers to escape the blockade.
It's not the time to play around. Come on out, buddy. Come on out. I'll explain to you when we're done. Now's not.
When officers discovered Esquivel sitting in a stolen vehicle at an apartment complex, he did not comply with orders and continued driving toward officers. Esquivel crashed into Sergeant Mason, breaking his shoulder and causing other injuries. To protect Sergeant Mason and prevent further danger, police opened fire on Esquivel, resulting in his death at the scene. On April 13, 2023, Newark and Fremont police were involved in an officer-involved shooting on Cedar Boulevard. Suspect, Elmer Lopez Castaneda, 19 of Newark, was found driving a car that was previously stolen on February 14, 2023. While being stopped by police, Lopez Castaneda pulled out a gun, later identified as an airsoft replica of a Beretta M9. Police opened fire, and Lopez Castaneda did not survive despite first aid. The second suspect suffered only minor injuries and was released from the hospital shortly afterwards. On May 5, 2023, in Bakersfield, police responded to a report of domestic violence involving Jason Crawford, 41, who may be under the influence of methamphetamine. Crawford allegedly tried to stab someone with a pen. When police arrived, a confrontation occurred in which officers used tasers, batons, and physical force to subdue Crawford. During the struggle, the police officer's body camera fell off. Crawford was then taken to the hospital and is currently in stable condition. He was arrested on charges of violence, being under the influence of drugs, assault, and resisting police. When approaching the suspect, Kavon Reagan, 22, Reagan fired at the officers, wounding Sergeant Joshua Scott. After Reagan refused to surrender and continued shooting, he was shot and killed at approximately 11:47 a.m. 5 other people, including 3 children, were inside the house, all of whom were unharmed.
Your guys pinned down or to the south. You need to go south. Yeah, this K5 was shot fired. I was taking rounds over here when Armor came into the intersection.
On August 30th, 2021, in West Melbourne, Florida, Deputy Brian Potter stopped a vehicle on US 192,